We are telling your followers that you've started a live video. Wonderful. Hi, guys. Hey, it's been a while. Yes, it has. Hello. I don't know how many we'll have on this live. Yes, hot lips. Hello. Hey, Cindy. All right, you guys, we're hopping in. We've got about 60 or so on. Let me just scroll down here. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna jump in because I want to just keep this around 15 minutes. So how many of you are interested in hanging out with me for the next 15 or so to go through the products in the MetaPWR Kit? And actually let me know in the comments if you were on the class that I taught last Monday, right? I uploaded it on YouTube, or if you're subscribed to any of my email segments, you would have received the recording. It was an hour 20, I believe, and it was a super deep dive into these products. I opened up the class talking about metabolic health. I'm going to cover just a little bit of that right now, and really why we are in this situation right now of needing this metabolic health awakening, and some of the obstacles to that, which I'm going to cover here, and then this kit and how it solves those issues. Okay, so that class was an hour 20. I'll post the link to that class if you'd like in the description below this after we're done here. Or you could hop over to YouTube and just search Whole Fit, and it's the last class that I uploaded there. But I thought it would be really helpful to teach a micro version of that class, since I know our attention spans are not typically an hour and 20 minutes. I get it. I'm kind of the same way. Anyway, first I want to share a personal story with you guys. And if you've been following me here on Instagram for a little bit, you know that as a family, we've gone through some pretty big life changes over the last year. Obviously, added to that, you have the experience we've all gone through as a world over the last, oh my gosh, almost 3 years. And so many of us have experienced really big changes in our life through this time. So back in July, I had been feeling this prompting by God to come into a season of fasting, and I'm not talking like full fasting, but just more fasting periods throughout my day, throughout my week, to help release anything that was not meant to be coming with me into the next season, to release it from my tissues, to release some of the burdens I had been carrying. The condensed version of what I'm trying to say here is I was in full activator mode for 2 years, speaking many things that were not being received or welcomed. The right message to the wrong people. Not saying one person falls in one category and one falls in another and one's better than the other or not. But what I am saying is I was very invested in trying to activate us towards something that I wanted to see shift, in Canada, in where we were living and such. What am I trying to get at here? When we made the change to uproot our life, which was also very prompted for us, we knew it was time. I knew there had to be a release for me personally of anything that was not meant to be coming into this next season, as I was feeling that God's been preparing me to lead in a different way in the times we are coming into. So what does this have to do with that? I know there are some of you who will relate very much to what I'm about to share. So I was feeling very ready to activate a deeper level of health and growth to prepare for where I was going. And when I was presented the opportunity to be a part of a pilot with these products for 2 months before they launched, so back in July, it was this epic timing for me. It was just everything lined up, and I knew that I was meant to put these products to work to accomplish 2 goals. So number 1, like I've shared with you, to release anything out of my system that was not meant to come with me into the new. Now I'm talking like we sold 95% of our life in Canada, all our belongings. I mean, so much of this experience has taught me like how little we actually need, right? And I share that because I wanted to do the same within my physical body, to honor the person that I am being shaped to be in this next season. Does that make sense? There were pieces, there were things that were still, that I was carrying, that I knew I wanted to release, and I wanted to activate this next level. I planned to use these products to do that, to stretch some of my fasting window, to go deeper into the healing process within my cells, and to nurture my body and nourish myself in a way that I hadn't before. But also one of my goals, and if you attended doTERRA's convention, then you already know this. One of the things that I was ready to say goodbye to completely break up with, was refined sugar. Not that it was like a crazy amount I was consuming, but it was a daily. And it was more of a curiosity for me that if I could completely break that, I, for the first time in my life, would feel like everything in my life was zipped up. That I was honoring my body as a temple, and that nothing had its grip on me. I've never had an addiction to alcohol or drugs, or obviously not pharmaceuticals. I mean, that so much of the work that I do is to actually go first in removing any of these hooks, but to help other people do that, to literally remove these hooks of these systems, right? Okay, so for me, that was my second goal, was could I completely lose my taste for refined sugar? And I accomplished both of those things over the course of 2 months with intention. I was very clear on what I wanted to do. And what started to happen for me was this activation of a new level. I could feel myself transforming at a fast pace. I could feel things leaving my interest, leaving my desire to even want to understand, things that I had felt so drawn into on a global level. And I became deeply interested in nourishment of my body and soul. The things I listened to started to change. The people I listened to, everything I started to look at through this new lens. And there was really this transformation taking place. Like I could feel it as it was happening. It wasn't the kind of thing where I, all of a sudden 6 months later, I look back and I'm like, whoa, so much has changed. I could feel it changing as I was going. So, when I say that my intention was to completely rid my system of refined sugar, that was not a physical desire of mine. It was spiritual, to be able to release something, to not have its grip on me anymore. And for me, it was like the one thing that did, right? So as this transformation was taking place for me, in a way that people on the outside probably wouldn't have noticed, until about 2.5 months, I'm almost 3 months in consistently using these products. And, things did start to shift around month 2, where people were noticing things like, a different glow about me, tightening of my skin. I actually released over 10 pounds of body weight, which on my frame was interesting. And this was a compounding effect, I believe, through some of the intentions. As you release things emotionally, there are physical things that start to happen. So anyway, sometimes, like I said, we have the right message, but we're sharing it with the wrong people. And, hop off if this message isn't for you, but I feel a conviction to help people, some of you who are here live, who deeply resonate with what I'm saying, from a spiritual perspective, where there are physical things and emotional things that you are being tapped to release and let go of, because you have a calling on your life. You know that you are meant to go to that next level. And if you know, you know, right? So if this message is for you, let's just take the next 10 minutes and I want to explain what's happening on a physical level and what these products are, and also how I've been pouring my heart into a program creation so that as soon as this arrives for you, you feel the massive support of our community with you. We're running a pilot program of the program right now. And I just did the Zoom call with the participants this afternoon. They just finished week 2, and it's really incredible. What I will say is your intention matters. Yes, like I had an intention when I started with these. However, if you're not sure where you want to go in your health, these will almost decide for you. It's almost an intuitive process. Metapower, the actual name of the line, obviously Meta standing for metabolic, and then PWR standing for personal wellness realized, which I love because it means that your next level is going to look different than other people. Now, there are consistencies in everyone's experience. There's so many testimonials pouring in about these. I'm sure I'm not the first to be talking about this with you, right? Skin effects, energy effects, cognition abilities cranking up, deeper, more rested sleep, glowing skin, better digestion, weight release. There are a lot of these things that are consistently happening for people at different times in their experience. Some people, it happens in their first week. They already start to see things shifting. Even body composition starts to shift. But for others, it takes a whole month of consistency before they start to see things move. But everyone's experience is very individualized, which is so cool. So let me first talk about metabolic health. And again, if you joined that class, I did a deep dive on this, but I'm going to cover this just off in 2 minutes here. So if you were in a room of 100 people right now, and we almost are here on this live, so let's just use this as an example. Only 6 or 7 of the people on this live right now have optimal cardiometabolic health. So 93% of this group, assuming we're an average group of North Americans, 93% of us here would have at least one of the 5 markers of poor metabolic health. Those markers are high or irregular blood pressure, blood sugar spiking and dipping all throughout the day, which I'll talk about in a minute and why that's devastating to the body. Poor blood cholesterol levels, belly fat specifically, or obesity, and cardiovascular disease. So any one of those markers illustrates poor metabolic health, and it actually is suggesting that this train is heading in the wrong direction. And again, 93%. It's a big number, right? Now, if you don't have any of those 5 things, you may simply be seeing things on the outside that are suggesting things aren't humming in the most ideal way on the inside. So metabolic health, which we're talking about right now, and your biological age are inseparable. So often the aging that we might see in somebody on the outside reflects the aging and the wear and tear that's happening on the inside. But there's also, going with the topic of aging, there are 2 things that deplete after the age of 25 in all of us and become half-lived by the time we're in our 50s. Does anyone know what those 2 things are in our body? Maybe we have some people on that were live for the class, so you might know this answer. There's 2 things that start to pretty rapidly deplete once we reach the age of 25, so much so that by the time we're in our 50s, they have half-lifed. And these 2 things actually go hand in hand with how we age. All right, Laura Main got one of them, collagen. Gluten-free Julie got the other one, NAD. Collagen and NAD. So just put a pin in those 2 things because I'm going to come back to those when we're talking about the products. So let's say you're wanting to become metabolically healthy. You realize you've got one of these 5 markers, or you just are seeing things happen physically that are illustrating to you that something's not working right? Like your body's struggling. So there's 3 obstacles that are going to come up when you are seeking to improve your metabolic health, okay? Number 1 are those blood sugar spikes. So riding that roller coaster all day long. Typically when we eat food, if you have 3 square meals a day, most people are going to be experiencing a big spike in their blood sugar right after they eat, and then a big dip. And of course, this is what causes this flatline in energy throughout the day, right? Like you might have I know I used to have this too. At like 3 o'clock or so, I would be needing a coffee, and typically I would have something that would have some sugar in it. I mean, I've grown up loving coffee. I love coffee. And I have so many great memories with it, but a lot of those memories came in the form of a coffee and a scone, or a coffee and a muffin, or a coffee and dark chocolate. So of course that pattern had been created for me, right? That happiness cycle connected to that. So anyway, I digress there, but blood sugar spiking and dipping is similar to the performance of your car. So let's say you're slamming the brakes on and then pedal down to the floor to go, and you're constantly doing this. We all know what that's going to do to a car over time, right? That wear and tear is going to deeply affect the performance of that car. Well, our body works very similarly. So one of our questions within this is, how can we stabilize our blood sugar throughout the day? So it's not doing this, so it's more steady. And therefore, not only are we not having wear and tear happening and aging and disease promotion in the body, but our energy levels are more sustained at a higher level. The second obstacle that we face in this topic of wanting to become metabolically healthy are what's happening within our fat cells. So as our fat cells are maturing through our life, we don't really increase or decrease the amount of fat cells. So when we're putting fat on our body, it's not fat cells being added, it's actually just the fat cells are growing. So the volume of fatty acids being stored within them is growing, like a balloon being blown up. And so a question here is, what is being stored there? Why is it being stored? Belly fat specifically is a danger zone because the body will dump anything it's trying to protect you from there. That's why it's often the hardest area of fat to lose in a body, because there's so much stored up in those fat cells to protect you. That's how incredible your body is. But when we're ingesting chemicals, harmful chemicals, I should specify, in our food, or when we're using harmful chemicals on our skin and breathing them in, the body's storing things to protect your systems, right? So we want to look at, our fascination here is, what can we do with not only what's happening in the fat cells, but future fat cell maturation. The last thing that is an obstacle when you're trying to become metabolically healthy is cellular integrity. So how can we not only protect our current cells and the integrity of them, but how can we actually promote the creation of healthy cells as we're getting older? Okay, so we talked about NAD and collagen depleting after the age of 25. How can we mitigate this depletion? But not only that, how can we help promote the growth of those two things so that we're slowing down that aging, so that you literally start to see transformations happening physically. Okay, so this system, you guys, that I just want to do a quick unbox of, solves those 3 issues, and I'm going to explain how this works. So first of all, what I want to point out, this is the MetaPWR Kit. So when you purchase the kit, if you're not already a doTERRA customer, with this, you're going to receive your wholesale pricing access for a full year, which means you can then buy more of this throughout the year, or any doTERRA oils, natural cleaning products, all the stuff that you've maybe seen out there before in classes that I've taught or whoever. You can buy any of those things at 25% off for a full year whenever you want to shop. There's no monthly minimums unless you want to do the rewards program, and there's no business attached unless you want to do what I do. Okay, so it's super straight up, and it's just a wholesale pass that comes with this kit. Okay, so this kit, when you get it, you'll notice when you open it up, it does have simple usage guidelines on the inside of the lid. Okay, so you could actually cut that off. You could post in your kitchen. This is a great way just to get you started, that teaches you exactly how to put these 6 products to work. Okay, now what I'll be sharing with you in a few minutes is the program that I've been working on, which takes this to another level. But if you just want to get started, super simple, super easy. This is going to guide you through step 1, step 2, step 3. Very, very simple integration. You literally just have to remember to use these throughout the day, and you're going to start to see some pretty phenomenal results. So first, let's go through the oil blend, the MetaPWR oil blend. So this metabolic blend of oils is comprised of things that you're very familiar with, and this is all that's in here. We've got grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark. That's it. That's what's in this blend. And so the very simple way to use this is to add 2 drops to every 20-ounce bottle of water. You can use a little hand frother if you want, just to help it emulsify a little bit more in the water, but you don't need to. It's super refreshing. It has a very, to me, it almost has a flavor of if juicy fruit gum and peppermint gum got married and had babies, it would taste like this. That makes no sense. No, it's just a very mild, refreshing flavor profile. So adding it to water is super simple. You can also use it topically. So adding a couple drops to a dry skin brush is a personal favorite routine of mine. I do that most mornings before my shower or my workout. I'll add it right to the dry brush, and then I brush my skin from my feet in the direction of my heart. Then the last thing I just want to share for usage with this is adding it to doTERRA's natural body lotion, which has no fragrance in it, obviously. But you could add, if you were using a full tube of the lotion, you could put it in a nice glass pump with about 40 drops of this, and now you have a nice metabolic body lotion. It feels really great. I love what my mom just said, a little zing. Hi, Mom. It gives you that nice just tingle. It's bueno. Now, why would you want to do this? So what this oil is doing is it's helping influence the fat cell maturation, and it's helping to balance your blood sugar. It's also going to help curb cravings. You'll notice if you are working on the sugar issue like I was, just adding this to water and taking a drink when you're craving sugar is gonna just knock it out. Okay, that also comes in the form of beadlets. This has about 1/4 drop of oil per beadlet. You can just pop those whenever you have a little craving if you want to exit that loop. And then the gum, I'm totally obsessed with this gum. I absolutely love it. It's sugar-free. It has I think it has about 1 drop of the metabolic blend in each piece of gum. It lasts forever. And again, we're just talking about peppermint, lemon, grapefruit, ginger, and cinnamon. It uses xylitol to sweeten, which also helps to clean the teeth, and it will physically help clean the teeth as well. I love this gum. Now, the last 2 products in this kit are the superstars, really. Now, this blend is in all of these products, so I shouldn't say it's not a superstar, but these 2 products are game changers. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I was talking about the oil blend, it's also in soft gels. So these soft gels have 2 drops of the oil blend, and this works more behind the scenes in your body, helping to again, work on that fat cell maturation process and influencing that so that fat is stored a little bit differently, but also helping to curb cravings and help with blood sugar. So taking 1 to 3 of these a day, I just take them with the other supplements that I'm taking, works behind the scenes, whereas adding the oil to water, for example, is going to be more experiential. Okay, so let me talk about the last 2 products in this kit, which are really phenomenal game-changing type products. So we have first the Metabolic Assist. This is a natural supplement. You take this 15 to 30 minutes before your largest meal. So typically that's going to be a meal that's going to have a good amount of carbs in it. One of the things that this supplement is going to do is it's going to help slow down the metabolizing of those carbs that might typically metabolize very fast and cause that blood sugar to spike up. So this is a glucose stabilizer, okay? There's 2 things in this that are the powerhouse, okay? Number 1, we have berberine. So berberine is a natural form of metformin. Some of you may be familiar with that medication. Berberine's the natural form of that, okay? So it's going to help lower blood glucose and increase mitochondrial energy. And like I said, it helps slow down that process of fast carbs burning too quickly, slows it down into slow carbs. The other ingredient in here is mulberry. So mulberry has been shown in research to reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by 42%. So one of the things you'll notice when you start taking this is you feel more in a state of rest and digest. Yeah, Big Sky on here said, I love the assist. It works incredibly well. I can feel it working. I noticed the same thing. I can actually feel my system almost coming to a as I'm eating, like things just slow down to this nice level. You chew your food, you taste your food, you slow down, right? So, but this is actually affecting things internally too. It's not just a feeling. So it's going to help you metabolize differently. And you'll notice that you start actually craving more of the good, nourishing foods. The last product that I could probably spend an hour talking about here, you guys, is the Collagen Plus product. So this is a powerhouse powder. I'm just going to open it up for you here. There's 30 sachets in this box. Each sachet works out to about $2.80. If you're purchasing it on the rewards program each month, it's going to work out to be $2.17 because there's some reduced pricing that unlocks when you order monthly. However, let me just talk about what a genius product this is, because it's so much more than a collagen. So in this sachet, you have not only 9 unique collagen tripeptides. These are wild sourced marine tripeptides. You also have this product being 12 times more bioavailable and absorbed in the body because it's in tripeptide form. So many of the collagens you'll see at the health food store are peptide form. You'll see it has 20 or 25 grams of protein in it. Those are large peptides that are not digested very well in the body. When you have a tripeptide version, you now have a product that's 12 times more bioavailable than those large peptide versions that you see most collagen powders in. But the collagen that's in this is just one of 12 incredible ingredients, including NAD, which we talked about a few minutes ago. That's that life-sustaining molecule. Literally, we'd be dead without NAD. So this has NAD in it. Now, NAD is typically quite unstable. So there's little chlorophyll particles in here. You'll actually see the little green specks when you mix up this drink. That's to protect the NAD. Then we have NMN in this. And NMN, on a molecular level, is one step down from NAD, which means it's used better by the body than just taking NAD, but it also helps create NAD. Okay, so now we're creating this synergy within this product. What else is in here? We have biotin, we have liposomal vitamin C, we have hyaluronic acid. This is such a stacked deck, you guys, and for the value, it is so incredible. This is my insurance policy now. I have not gone a day without taking this over the last 3 months. I absolutely love it. I look forward to it. My personal favorite way to mix this up is in a glass of about 16 ounces of water, and I squeeze half of a lemon in there. And then sometimes, I mean lemon juice, not lemon oil, but sometimes I will also add a drop of tangerine or lemon essential oil. And I just whip that up. It is so refreshing. You want to have this cool or cold, not hot. You're not adding this to your coffee. That's going to destabilize these powerful ingredients. So this is something that makes this so unique is you activate this. It doesn't come to you with all these preservatives and emulsifiers in it, like some typical powders. But it also doesn't come to you in a base of either water or fruit juice. This is what a lot of the liquid collagens out there are shipped to you in, is fruit juice. But they're also many times almost double the price of doTERRA's because you're paying for that company to ship you liquid. So it's important that this is activated by you for many reasons, but on a health level, it makes it completely pure. There's no emulsifiers in this. So you want to really give it a good shake in a shaker bottle or use a little hand blender. But I absolutely love this entire system. So it works like a system. You'll learn exactly how to use it because there's simple usage instructions right in the box that you can cut out and get started. But here's what I want you guys to do. So if you want to join me for our program that's starting November 1st, we're going to walk you through 30 days of integrating these products, a whole journey. You're going to have really transforming experiences. You'll want to purchase this kit by next weekend. I want to say October 15th by the latest, so that you have all the products in time to kick off with us November 1st for our program called Meta 30. Now, if you're watching this as a recording after we run the program in November, we're going to have everything organized for you so you can jump in and do this program whenever you want. on your own time. We'll have everything just all there for you. But it is really cool to do it as a community. So I'm encouraging you to grab this before next weekend and join us. And listen, if you're on another team, I can't open up this program to other teams, but I would definitely look within your community because there might be something similar running within your team, okay? So I'll just stay on for 2 minutes. We gotta leave for dinner here, but let me know if you have any questions about this before I hop off. I'll upload this recording to the grid here and I'll post the links for purchasing. But just while I'm on here live, I have just put in the comments my landing page, which has the links for you depending on whether you're purchasing from Canada or the US. So this is only available from the US warehouse, but some markets like Canada can purchase this kit. Anyway, I need to go, but I just wanted to share how much I have appreciated these products and my experience with them because they really help to activate a new level for me. And this is something that I wanted to share because it's not like a testimonial like you might typically hear. You know, a lot of people are experiencing some of the things I talked about. But for me, it was a very spiritual experience. So I just wanted to share that with you if that's something that you've been feeling in your own life. Hey, so someone asked if you forget to take the one capsule 10 to 15 minutes before, is there value in taking it with food? Yes. So a friend of mine who wears a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor, she did a test with that. And she actually saw and you see it in real time. Typically when you wear a CGM, you have an app that shows you where your blood sugar is at, right? So she was starting her meal. She was halfway through, realized she forgot to take the assist. And she saw in real time her blood sugar starting to do that climb. She took the assist capsule and within minutes, it blunted that spike. So she actually saw on her monitor that it just leveled and then started to drop. So there is value, but the most value is taking it 15 to 30 minutes before your meal because there's some digesting that happens within the capsule and it basically prepares for that large meal you're about to eat, okay? Was thinking about getting this for my husband. Is the target group for this anyone? Anyone, I would say, above the age of 16. So there are some younger children that are doing some tests with it who have type 1 and type 2 diabetes. However, women, men, we have, my parents are both doing it. My in-laws are doing it. My husband's doing it right now. Like there are really great experiences coming out. I mean, it's just, again, like I said in the beginning, everybody has a very individualized, personal experience with it. You will go to your next level in your body's right timing. Some of you will experience things very quickly. Some of you will need to open up some of those detox pathways as things are shifting a little more in the beginning. But yes, are the soft gels pretty much the oil in pill form? Exactly, that's it. It helps to work behind the scenes for you. Whereas the oil, adding it to water, for example, is going to be an experience you have with, being able to taste it and smell it. And that turns on other things in the body to help curb cravings. So yes, you can continue taking Terrazyme with it also. Okay, I've got to go. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I will save this live for you and I'll drop the links in later. But yeah, I hope that you give this a shot because I haven't been this impressed with a product line. Then I would go back to when I first started with doTERRA, when I was really blown away by my experience with the oils. I've had that same experience with this product. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thanks for joining live. Nice to have you on.